Good evening, residents of Everett, Washington. I would like to call to order the Everett City Council meeting of February 4th, 2026. For information on council meetings and how to participate, please visit our website at everettwa.gov/city council. For the record, Councilmember Tui will be attending this evening's meeting remotely. Clerk, please take the roll.
Mayor Franklin. Here. Councilmember Zarlingo.
Excused.
Councilmember Bourbano.
Here.
Councilmember Tui.
Here.
Councilmember Weir. Here. Councilmember Bader.
Here.
Vice President Ryan. Here. President Schwab.
Here, at this time, I'd like Vice President Ryan to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please stand if you're able. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And at this time, I'd like to ask Councilmember Bourbano to read the land acknowledgement.
The City Council wishes to acknowledge the original inhabitants of this place, the Stohovish people and their successors, the Tulalip tribes. Since time immemorial, they have hunted, fished, gathered on, and taken care of these lands and waters. We respect their sovereignty, their right to self-determination, and honor their sacred spiritual connection with the land and water. We will strive to be honest about our past mistakes and bring about a future that includes their people, stories, and voices to form a more just and equitable society.
Thank you. Just for the agenda's sake, at staff's request, item number 12 has been pulled from this meeting and will be added to the February 11th agenda due to some numbers changes. Good evening, Mayor.
Good evening. To start this evening, I'm pleased to bring forward a number of appointments for your confirmation. And my question is, would you like me to do them by board or commission or all together all at once?
Let's do it by commission.
Okay, great. So first to the Community Development Advisory Committee, Megan Honan, position 2, Chandler Honeyman, position 3, Deborah Welch, position 6, Penny Kellman, position 8, and Susan Mosshart to position 9. I'm asking for your confirmation.
Do I have a motion?
Councilmember Bader moves those appointments.
Councilmember Ware seconds.
Okay, motion seconds made. Is there any comment or questions? Okay, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Bourbano.
Yes.
Councilmember Tui.
Yes.
Councilmember Weir.
Yes.
Councilmember Bader.
Yes.
Vice President Ryan.
Yes.
President Schwab.
Yes.
Thank you. Next to the Cultural Arts Commission, Benjamin Kaimi Pono Oklere, Clayton Bratt. Benjamin, I can't remember what position, but Clayton Bratt is position 3.
So move the motion.
Councilmember Ryan seconds.
Motion seconds been made. Any questions or comments from council? Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Bourbano.
Yes.
Councilmember Tui.
Yes.
Councilmember Weir.
Yes.
Councilmember Bader.
Yes.
Vice President Ryan.
Yes.
President Schwab.
Yes.
Thank you. And now to the Everett Station District Alliance Ratepayer Advisory Board, Tyler Botts, Mary Ann Dillon, Lori Fox, John Hull, Jenny Sinker, and Mike Schmieder.
Councilmember Bader moves those appointments.
Councilmember Ryan seconds.
Motion and seconds been made. Any questions or comments from council? Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Bourbano.
Yes.
Councilmember Tui.
Yes.
Councilmember Weir.
Yes.
Councilmember Bader.
Yes.
Vice President Ryan.
Yes.
President Schwab.
Yes.
Great, thank you. And to the Transportation Advisory Committee, Jeff Veluzzi to position 1 and Matthew Fraser to position 4.
Councilmember Bader moves those appointments.
Councilmember Ryan seconds.
Motion seconds been made. Is there any questions or comments from council? Seeing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Bourbano.
Yes.
Councilmember Tui.
Yes.
Councilmember Weir.
Yes.
Councilmember Bader.
Yes.
Vice President Ryan.
Yes.
President Schwab.
Yes.
Thank you. We have almost all our board and commission seats full. We have 1 or 2 more commissions that I will bring forward soon, or I'll maybe ask President Schwab to bring forward. So thank you. Thank you to all our volunteers as well. So next, I'd like to welcome our placemaking manager, Tyler Chisholm, along with Wendy Poshbeg from the Everett Chamber to give us a very short presentation. Just a quick note, Wendy has simply been doing incredible work at the Chamber. The Chamber has grown so much under your leadership, and I know our business community is feeling your support. So thank you so much for your leadership, and I can't wait to hear an update.
Evening, Mayor, Council President Schwab, City Council. I'm Tyler Chisholm, Placemaking Manager for the city. And I have just the best job. I get to come here and talk about all these really successful public-private partnerships. This presentation will be very brief. I've been reminded several times, so we're going to rip through this. So pardon our brevity. We're going to do a quick recap on how we established the chamber and why we established the chamber. And then Wendy will wrap us up with just a highlight reel of the first year. So does that sound good? Great. Okay, history of the chamber. Everett had an active chamber before the city was officially incorporated. Over the decades, it had, it was a champion a ton of initiatives. And then in the mid 2000s, it merged with two other chambers to take a more regional economic development approach. And they formed the Economic Alliance. And that's been a great decision and a great organization. But what we lost was a hyper-local, high-touch Everett Chamber, which we reformed in 2025 through a public and private partnership. We did this because the businesses were asking first and foremost, and Mayor Franklin had asked staff to look into how we could reestablish a chamber. Without a chamber, we were at a strategic disadvantage. We were one of the first, one of the only cities in the county that did not have a chamber. Chambers are critical for a thriving business system, and the chamber allows us to continue to generate all the great economic momentum. We're talking a lot about momentum this year. It's the theme, and the chamber is a vital partner in this. And when businesses are successful and generate revenue, they generate revenue for the city as well and workers in the city. So how we established the chamber, council approved a $600,000 funding package via resolution 8061. We hired a consultant to help us strategize and do the business outreach and form the chamber. The chamber is a standalone organization. It is separate from the city, and it is a member-driven entity. And the chamber is contracted with the city through 2025 and 2026 on some specific economic development initiatives. And then the city's role, just to specify, the city is a contractor, or the chamber is a contractor, and that contract spells out specific KPIs to support our economic development work. So the city is a beneficiary. The city is also a member of the chamber with hundreds of other organizations in the county, and then we do have a seat on the board as an ex officio role, so that provides some additional oversight and collaboration. And that's it. I'll pass it over to Wendy.
Great, thank you. Yeah, that was.
Is that fast enough?
Okay, I'm going to be so fast.
Was it too fast? Okay.
Hey, great. You were great. Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, City Council, President Schwab. Thank you for the opportunity to share this update on behalf of our Board of Directors and the Greater Everett Chamber of Commerce. Tonight really is about my gratitude, our gratitude, and accountability, and how we delivered on our 2025 professional service agreement and how we're building on that momentum in 2026 to support Everett businesses. Next. As Tyler described, 2025 was a relaunch year after 15-year absence. Everett once again has a citywide chamber focused on business support, connection, and visibility. We ended the year with 250 members, delivered more than 55 programs, and built the infrastructure, systems, and partnerships and trust needed to support Everett's diverse business community. Our contract with the city focused on 4 outcomes: strengthening local businesses, promoting Everett as a business hub, engaging the community, and our own operational excellence. I'm proud to say that we met and exceeded each of those objectives. We focused heavily on business recruitment and retention because the strongest economic development tool Everett has is the businesses that are already here. Over the course of the year, we engaged more than 3,000 Everett businesses, including 200 businesses located in qualified census tracts. These weren't just one-off interactions. They were conversations about staying open, growing, and navigating changes. We delivered more than 200 hours of technical assistance, helping business owners work through real issues like permitting, regulatory compliance, workforce challenges, and expansion decisions. In many cases, the support that we provided helped businesses move forward instead of stalling or perhaps leaving. And when businesses were ready to grow, we showed up. We supported 15 ribbon cuttings that marked new openings, expansion, and reinvestment across Everett.
This work matters because it's about retention, confidence, and momentum, making sure Everett businesses know they're not navigating growth or challenges alone. Next. Under the leadership of our Hispanic Outreach Coordinator, Ellie Vasquez, our chamber deepened its connection with our Hispanic-owned businesses throughout Everett. Ellie met directly with more than 70 business owners, visiting shops, restaurants, service providers, and home-based entrepreneurs across multiple neighborhoods. These visits were intentional and personal. Many entrepreneurs shared concerns about immigration policies, language barriers, and the complexity of local permitting. In response, the chamber continued its shift away from formal labels. So for instance, we stopped calling our Hispanic business forums. We stopped labeling it because that community informed us that they didn't feel safe and that they felt targeted. And so what we did was we created a more comfortable environment for owners by having our events in Hispanic-owned business instead, privately curating and inviting just that community so that they could feel safe, still get access to the resources, and that actually helped us build trust within that community, trust that we're still working on achieving. Some of the outreach efforts, what we heard back was that many businesses needed help navigating licensing and permitting, particularly for the health department, food service, signage, or expansion plans. They asked us to provide more bilingual tools, including checklists and onboarding materials. Multiple businesses raised safety concerns near transit areas, especially around customer experience and late evening operations. And they asked us to provide, or they expressed strong interest in our women's network, chamber mixers, and they highlighted that they wanted to have more connections, more invitations, and more outreach. The outreach strengthened relationships with Everett's Hispanic business community and ensured that their needs and perspectives are integrated into the chamber's broader programming, technical assistance, and our advocacy priorities. Thank you. One of the most important roles that the chamber plays is as a convener, and not just by hosting events, but by being intentional about who is in the room together. Across construction, trades, healthcare, manufacturing, and small business, we curate spaces where employers, workforce partners, and educators and civic leaders can have the same conversation at the same time. Our construction and trades mixers brought together more than 200 contractors, many of whom don't normally sit at the same table. Our women's professional network served more than 400 professionals, combining leadership development with intentional relationship building to support career growth. A good example of why this work matters is the Washington tax change webinar. When the state expanded taxable services, we quickly convened experts from Clark Newber to host businesses so they would understand what changes were coming forward on October 1st. 81 Everett businesses participated in that and received clear practical guidance on compliance, helping them to avoid confusion, penalties, or disruption. Similarly, through targeted outreach, the chamber ensured that businesses were aware of Everett's new minimum wage, and information many owners told us they would not have received otherwise. This work matters because economic growth doesn't happen in isolation. It happens when right people are in the room together. We also focused on visibility through transit advertising, media, partnerships, and digital tools. We helped tell businesses Everett's business story. Our website and directory reached more than 20,000 visits, creating exposure for local businesses and reinforced Everett as a place to invest and to grow. Next, looking ahead to 2026, our focus is about sustainability. We're moving from relaunch to long-term delivery, doubling down on business retention, workforce alignment, and business attraction while continuing to provide measurable, accountable services. We are thrilled to host the State of Everett event on March 5th at the new Everett Theater. We are leading an outbound mission to Phoenix, continuing our construction, healthcare, maritime convenings, and supporting FIFA-related business activation through fan zones and micro-watch sites. We also will continue our focus with our Hispanic business community and leadership development through the Women's Professional Network. Next, the chamber exists to support Everett businesses and to be accountable for the public investment that you've made. We're proud that what we've accomplished in 2025 and what's ahead for us in 2026. And we're grateful for the city's continued partnership. I want to sincerely offer my thanks. You guys have been so Tyler, Dan, the council, you've been so great to work with. Our chamber has felt very supported by you and has given us really great direction and feedback and allowed us to really just work on behalf of the business community and our members. And for that, I'm really, really grateful. And I'm happy to answer any of the questions that you might have.
Thank you very much. Any questions from council?
Just thanks for all the great work you're doing.
Oh, Councilmember Bader.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, just want to say thanks for the presentation. I know I was one area of concern I had when we invested the money was that it would be sustaining, but it sounds like you guys are on the track to be, as we taper our initial seed money, that you're on track to be able to make it with going forward. So glad to hear the good news. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. Councilmember Braveno.
Thank you for the presentation. It was really good. Is there any data that shows on how many businesses joined the Chamber of Commerce per district? And what is the plan to focus on the districts with the lowest number of businesses in the Chamber of Commerce?
I don't have the specific data on which businesses are joined from each district. I'm happy to compile that. I would say that we are continuing to do outreach. So even though businesses haven't joined as a member, that doesn't mean that we're not engaging with them. Folks sometimes just don't have the funds to be able to pay to be a member. But we still do tons of outreach, do free events, and still provide a lot of resources, even though they might not be a member of the chamber.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. You know, when we were allocating the funding, it was part of the COVID recovery program. And I know a lot of businesses in downtown had some struggles during that time. So thank you for your organization to give them a boost and help some of that recovery.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you thank you both, Tyler. Great job. And but Wendy, yeah, you're amazing and really appreciate the energy and momentum you've brought to Everett through the Everett Chamber. And I know that you are filling a gap that we absolutely had, and appreciate especially the outreach and connection to our Hispanic business community. It's something that we've long wanted to do, and we've tried to do some of that work as a city, but you've taken an extra special focus there as a chamber, and I appreciate that. That helps us connect with a lot of our South Everett businesses that probably have been undercared for many years. So appreciate that. So thank you. Thank you both. And then my only last thing is to, I think election day is next week. So please don't forget to vote by Tuesday. Thank you. That's it for tonight.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, on to old business. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes for January 28th, 2026?
Councilmember Ryan, so moves.
Second.
Motion and seconds made. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Bourbano,
Yes.
Councilmember Tui,
Yes.
Councilmember Weir,
Yes.
Councilmember Bader.
Yes.
Vice President Ryan.
Yes.
President Schwab.
Yes, also before us, we have the council retreat minutes for January 31st, 2026 that also needs to be approved. Do I hear a motion?
Council Vice President Ryan moves approval of the retreat minutes from the 31st.
Thank you.
And second.
Motion and seconds been made. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Bourbano.
Yes.
Councilmember Tui,
Yes.
Councilmember Weir.
Yes.
Councilmember Bader.
Yes.
Vice President Ryan.
Yes.
President Schwab.
Yes. Okay, moving on to public comments, which includes written comment acknowledgement under our rules. Written comments shall be considered in the same manner as oral comments. The person submitting the comments must state their name and city of residence to make the council record. So do we have any written comments tonight?
We don't have written comment.
No written, okay. How about anyone online that would wish to speak?
We have Carrie Lonergan Drake.
Good evening, council. Is my camera on? I can't tell.
Hey, just give us a sec, thank you.
Okay.
We'll let you know when you're ready. We'll let them know. Well, maybe it's not going to work. How we doing?
You should be
Oh,
ready.
there we go.
There we
Oh,
go.
Guess
Okay,
I was
great.
I guess I was the one that's impatient. So we got you now.
All right, great. Good evening, Council, Mayor Franklin. I appreciate being here tonight. I'm here tonight in support of the proposed ordinance that the city is considering to deal with unlicensed food stands. Thank you very much for dealing with this and getting tough on this issue. It's a big problem in our region, not only in Everett, but in almost every community that I travel in Western Washington. I'm seeing these unpermitted food stands. So it's a problem, obviously, for a number of reasons. Foodborne illness outbreaks, I think, is especially concerning. And these violators are blatantly ignoring the cease and desist orders from the health districts. Snohomish County Health District or Department has issued a number of cease and desist orders, and these operators just pick up and move a block or two down the street. I find this particularly egregious that these operators are ignoring the law. I mean, it's almost like they're just telling us to, go to fill in the blank. And that's especially concerning. I believe, and there's other people that feel the same, that this is part of an organized crime ring. And I'm guessing that it's probably connected to the same organized crime rings that are involved with illegal drugs. And we all know what kind of damage that's had on the city of Everett with the, fentanyl, the number of people that have been harmed by fentanyl, the deaths. I mean, it's just atrocious. So I do think it's time now for law enforcement to be able to have some teeth to cite people criminally, to potentially confiscate equipment. We have to put a stop to this because it's just spreading all over the region. I was just mentioning this to a couple of my partners and managers today, and they were saying, oh yeah, I just saw another food stand pop up in Cedar Woolley, and there's one here and there. And my husband and I kind of have a joke. It's like when we drive down 164th off of I-5 to get to our home in Snohomish, we'll be like, oh gosh, how many food stands are we going to see tonight? We have a running bet, and this is not good. So I'm very happy to see that the city is taking this up. I'd like to see other jurisdictions do the same because there has to be some coordinated law enforcement. And yeah, we've got to stop all this criminal activity in our communities. It's very, very harmful. On a different topic, was pleased to see
So
that.
ma'am, you got about 30 seconds left.
Okay. A shout out to Wendy and the chamber. Fabulous job. Thank you, council, for supporting that. I know that when we opened up Lombardi's in Everett in 1998, the chamber was here, did a great job. We are very sad to see them leave. So I'm very appreciative of all the work that the chamber is doing. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do we have her name and city of residence for the record?
Oh, sorry, Carrie Lonergan Drakey.
Okay.
I
What
don't live
city?
in Everett, but my business is in Everett.
What's your city of residence?
Snohomish.
Thank you. Okay. Anyone else online?
Not online. We have someone in the,
Okay, great.
William Parent.
William Parent, Silver Lake. This is Ever does it? Yeah, this is a city-led geotechnical investigation 3D model. If you guys know what that is, this is Everett doesn't yet have a full Singapore or Hong Kong style city-led geotechnical investigations 3D model, but it does have several important building blocks of one. So we're just gonna go straight to the bullets here. This reduces uncertainty for developers when subsurface data, soil strength, groundwater, litigation risk is already mapped in public. Developers spend less time and money on primary studies, banks, and insurers approve projects more quickly. More efficient land use. Cities like Singapore use city-level geotechnical models to build higher structures where the ground avoids over-engineering and stable zones, directs growth towards technically suitable areas. This leads to a denser, faster urban expansion without increasing risk. Infrastructural and it enables development when cities pre-invest in ground stabilization, underground utilities, tunnels, flood, and I can't pronounce that word, but it's, you know, the earthquake equipment at the stadium. Private developers typically follow within 3 to 7 years, often at a much higher pace than before. Real world examples after Singapore, after integrating national geotechnical database with urban planning, the city sustained one of the world's fastest high density development rates with minimal geotechnical failure. Hong Kong, the Geotechnical Engineering Office significantly reduced landslide incidents and enabled rapid hillside urbanization. Japan, Tokyo, city-led geotechnical planning allowed continuous redevelopment even in high-risk zones. In these cases, urban development intensely increased within one planning cycle, usually 5 years, with long-term stable benefits. And then I only got 3 minutes. I got no timer. So I got one more because we have it, but it's private. What Everett does have that approach to 3D planning, like the project scale 3D subsurface models, are private / site specifics. I only got, but these models are not public databases and remain tied to individual permits.
Okay, thank you. Okay, is that our last speaker? Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to council comments. We'll start with council member Urbano.
So yesterday I met with the Board of Parks and Commissioners and the Tree Committee, and I'm really glad to see what's going on and all the future improvements to the city parks. So that was really exciting to see and to hear. And also we talk about the efforts by the city of Everett to increase the number of trees in the city. So yeah, the city of Everett does offer free trees. Now they have edible trees. Actually, a couple years ago, we got 4 trees from the city in our property. So now is a good time to go get your free trees from the city. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Tui.
Yeah, just wanted to comment. We had our healthy and safe community committee meeting this evening, and we had a great presentation on our traffic cameras and traffic safety in the city. And I really a lot of data, and so it's very interesting. So I do recommend other council members watch the video to get all the information. But that was a great committee meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Weir.
So been a busy week of getting out and about and doing things, and still can't manage to get to all of them that I want to, but attended the Cultural Arts Commission's Development and Outreach Committee last week. Some really good conversations about their priorities for the coming year and brainstorming ways to get more community engagement through the commission. Had the opportunity to ride along with our Everett Fire Department on Monday and visit a few of our Everett stations, go out on a couple of calls, and had some really, really great conversations with some of our firefighters, EMTs, and one of the care social workers that was there. And one big takeaway I got from those conversations was the great appreciation that our firefighters and EMTs have for those care team social workers, and that it allows one of those individuals to go out specialized to deal with a situation or a call, and allow the resources of our firefighters and engines and whatnot to be available for bigger calls that need those specialized services. And today was Downtown Everett Association's annual kickoff and report, and that was really amazing. It was at the first time I've been into the new Everett Theater, the formerly known as the Historic Theater. If you haven't had a chance to check that out, be sure to get up there for something, because it really is beautiful. They've done a great job with the renovations on that. And just hear some reports back, like the Everett Chamber, Downtown Everett Association being more hyper-local to the downtown core, but just really great partners with the city on all the work that they're doing with, they do all the cleanups of our the trash bins throughout the city that are on the sidewalks that people probably aren't even aware that that's something that they're doing. Graffiti removals, they have storefront grant enhancement programs where they are providing resources for our local businesses and property owners to really improve the looks of their businesses and attract more. And just events downtown, the planting program with the flowers. If you're looking for a volunteer opportunity, they're going to be doing a planting again in April. And yeah, just the great positive trajectory that the city is on, and the work that our community is putting into that. And then, as Judy was referring to, our Health and Safety Council Committee meeting today, big takeaway, I was excited to hear that we've got some new flashing lights and pedestrian safety amenities coming for, particularly at near Hawthorne and by Providence Hospital on Colby, which are two areas I've heard of concerns from my constituents in District 1. So, and that is plenty, I'm sure, from me. So onward.
Thank you. Councilmember Bader.
Thanks. Real quick, elaborating further on the on the Community Health and Safety Committee. We've seen a dramatic improvement in some areas in terms of red light runners, a significant drop in injuries in several places, and just thinking about the horribleness of traffic injuries in traffic, and how we've dramatically reduced that is very impactful. Not quite what we'd hope for in some intersections, but hopefully getting in that general direction. Some elaboration, as Councilmember Weir mentioned, from the fines being used for traffic safety efforts. And again, they're only used for that. They don't go into the general fund for anything else. And then also Corey, our city traffic engineer, Corey Hurt, highlighted a few changes we'll have to make this coming year to match city law with changes in state law that impact that. Additionally, we asked about unlicensed vehicle enforcement, aka car tabs, but as well as not having a license as well. The police talked about how that's enforced in Everett, and a key tool as well as dealing with abandoned vehicles. And additionally, that does, when people do not pay their car tabs, it does financially impact the city. And those of us who do pay our car tabs obviously get are impacted, because those who aren't are not carrying the load the rest of us are. So interesting presentation on that, and appreciate the conversation. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilmember Ryan.
Thank you. Good evening. I wanted to thank my colleagues for all of our hard work and collaboration at the retreat this last weekend. And there's a lot of thoughtful comments and insights. And so I just really appreciated all of it. And I look forward to a productive year. Today I saw Councilmember Weir at the Downtown Everett Association's annual report at the new Everett Theater, and had a great time learning more about the good work that they do. And I wanted to give a shout out to Sherry Jennings for being named Volunteer of the Year. Tonight before this council meeting, I was attending the Alliance for Housing Affordability as the new liaison for council, and we discussed our work plan for the year. I also wanted to share that I was recently appointed to the AWC Large City Advisory Committee. So I look forward to bringing our city's priorities and concerns to a larger forum. And two more things. One, yes, ballots are out for the February 10th special election. So this is your friendly reminder to dig it out from that stack of things on your dining table to fill it out and send it in. And I encourage you to please use a county drop box instead of mailing it since we're getting close to the election date. And last but not least, go Hawks.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Councilman Ryan, for getting appointed to that committee. That's a big deal. I too am on one of the committees on the Legislative Advisory Committee for the AWC. And to go along with that, this week I testified before the Senate Ways and Means Committee on Senate Bill 6037, which gives the ability for cities like Everett to segregate out the fire protection funding service and to manage it separately. And to go along with that, there are some special funding options that the city could exercise, of course, with the vote of the people. And there's tomorrow there's a companion bill, House Bill 2224. We'll speak on that tomorrow. Also want to thank the mayor and the staff for giving up their Saturday to providing all the information and the different presentations for our council retreat. Thank you very much for all that. Also, I want to I'm very excited about what I heard today in the Public Safety, Health and Safety Committee. Speeds on our roads is becoming a very big problem in our city. So I'm glad we're taking a proactive approach and really appreciate the direction that's headed. It's never fast enough, of course, but no pun intended. But hopefully we can make some changes to some of our road structure so we can benefit those that live in the city. So, okay, we'll move on to administrative report. Our Governmental Affairs Director, Jennifer Gregerson.
I do have a report for you. First, I just wanted to highlight, I didn't write the number down, but there is on your consent agenda a grant award, acceptance of a grant from the state for Connecting Housing Infrastructure Program. It's just one little item on there, but it is a great success. It connects with our 2026 to 2030 housing strategy, and it's actually 5 grant awards that are really just passed through paying for utility fees for 5 different projects. The value adds up to almost $4.3 million for those housing providers, and it'll help support construction of 462 new affordable housing units in the city. So it's a nice item that's on the consent agenda that you will vote on and pass over quickly, but I wanted to highlight it. It's great work from our team. And then I have a legislative update for you that is really hot off the presses. So this is the 24th day of the session, and there are 36 more days left. Today's the policy cutoff in the House of Origin. So that means they have to get stuff through their committees. Fiscal Committee has through Monday. And then they'll have time to vote bills off of the floor in the House of Origin. And then they flip over to the House or to the Senate to keep working them through those 36 days that are left. So a few key bills to highlight. Senate Bill 6002 is related to automated license plate readers. Those are and we work with Flock as our provider. That was voted out tonight of the Senate off the floor, so it'll end up back in the House to work on. It has a couple good things. It generally resolves challenges with public records legislation or public records laws. It creates a period of retention for the data of 21 days. I think more would have been great, but there was an earlier proposal which was significantly shorter than that. So that is a good thing. But unfortunately, this bill as presented now is only allows us to use flock cameras for felonies. So that's something that we want to fix as it moves through the House. We would want it to be available for misdemeanors or gross misdemeanors. Those types of crimes are things like domestic violence offenses. There's kind of a bucket of those. Offenses related to child endangerment, other sex offenses, and then a variety of violent offenses or offenses that are related to violent acts. Using flock cameras to help us identify suspects in those types of crimes has been a really useful tool in our city. So we'll be making that case to the representatives in the House and working with AWC, who's a great partner on the flock as a tool. Council President Schwab mentioned the Municipal Fire Authority bill, so we appreciate that you were able to testify yesterday or the day before and tomorrow. There's a challenge with the language that popped up earlier today with hospital districts and some small fire districts, and so there is language around that, but hoping to find a path forward that allows the fire chiefs to not oppose it. And AWC has also been really helpful in navigating that stakeholder conversation around that big priority for the city. A couple housing bills that we have been working on. We've been testifying as other, so that you can testify in support or con or other, which is like we have concerns. So that's how we feel about the STEP housing bill. That's emergency supportive, transitional, emergency shelter, I think was the first S, not supportive, but anyways, and permanent supportive housing. This is a bill that does largely what we already do in our city, which is ask cities to allow that type of housing throughout our community. But it's Senate Bill 6069, and then its companion is House Bill 2266. What we don't like is that today we use what we call management plans, or others call good neighbor agreements or operating agreements, but we use those as tools to help make sure that folks that operate that kind of supportive or permanent or shelter, emergency shelter housing do so kind of with the best practices when they start out. That is helpful both for you guys as elected officials to know that that housing is going to be run just the right way, and then we've got communication set up and that they're clear about the services they're providing and who they're providing them to and how they're providing them. That's helpful to our neighbors that might have questions about a new type of housing in their neighborhood. And then it's also good for the providers who have varying levels of experience in how they in providing, this service. So we'll keep testifying on it, and hopefully that concern will make its way into the legislation, or the bills may not make it out of their various committees.
So question on that one. So do they want to remove the requirement for a management plan or neighborhood agreement?
It wouldn't, as currently presented, it wouldn't allow us to require it. So we could still work with a provider and ask them to do it, but it wouldn't be a requirement of them opening their doors. So kind of where we've landed is to ask that it be like an administrative review. Everett is like always the great example of this work, but there are other places around the state where it's been maybe used to prevent the development of this type of housing. And we all know that shelter is really important. And we as a city want to provide it, and we would love other cities to do the same. So asking for this tool isn't to stop the housing. And so that's sort of the point we've been trying to make.
Yeah, so I'll just reiterate that it's like we do this really well, and a lot of sometimes smaller cities love to block this type of housing and programs. And so I think the legislature is trying to find a way to force their hand and say, you also have to provide shelter, you also have to do it. But they're kind of doing this blanket approach. And this tool really allows us to do it really well in Everett and allows us to do often the hard things. And so that's what we're trying to keep it in place, because without it, it's really hard to do what we've been able to do and what we really need other cities to do.
And I want to stress the collaboration that we've had with both neighboring businesses and residents with these types of plans that have been very successful in encouraging engagement by the community. And if there's an agreement with it, I could probably go all night on this one.
Well, I'll let you know.
This is the first I've heard of it, so I look forward to seeing where we're at on that. Let me know if you need me to
I will.
testify on that.
So no one gave me a timer, but I'm trying to
Oh.
not talk forever.
I just cut myself off, so.
I have like 3 more big categories I want, but 3 more bills basically. So the other housing one that I thought I'd highlight is 2480 and also Senate Bill 6026. governor requests legislation that would encourage more residential in commercial zones. We did that last year. We already did it like a long time ago, but now basically if there's a commercial zone where you'd expect to see retail, you can have housing there. And so we were a little bit other, but I think I will testify tomorrow, or maybe it's the next day, I don't know, in support of that. And love to see that throughout other communities too. So next one that I will mention is a bill related to juvenile rehabilitation. It is Senate Bill 6062 and House Bill 2389. It is a complicated bill, and we are concerned with the impacts to juveniles. So folks that are a couple categories, but generally like 17 and under, also 14 and under, 15 to 16. They're all different categories. Who are charged with robbery 1 or assault 2. And those are serious crimes that are violent crimes. So depending on how the bill ends up and how it's implemented, it could mean that young person charged with robbery 1 who might get like a couple years in detention today would be either not receive any detention or and have sort of mental health treatment or behavioral health treatment or other local sanctions, which is like community service in the community. Unless it was like the 3rd or 4th time that they had been sentenced with that crime, then they might see more time in detention. Same thing with the assault 2 charge, although it's less, it's even less, I guess, detention. It's challenging throughout the state because there's differing levels of availability of those kinds of alternative services. And we have concerns because they're really violent crimes. And so it appears to be advancing, and there is a hearing. There are 2 hearings on those. There's a hearing on both bills in like tomorrow and or the next day. And so I'll probably be testifying on those guys again as well.
And I'll just add, I had a meeting with the board of the Tulalip tribes last week, and they shared their concerns with this bill in particular. They recently had 2 young people brutally beat a elder in the community, and under this current bill, those 2 young people would not receive any detention. And so it is, I think the goal is that youth are treated differently, and I think we all agree that that is important. But this takes we already detain very few kids in the state of Washington. I know from my past experience in working in juvenile services that they're only kind of the hardest offenders are detained. And so significant concerns. We've had issues in Everett where we've had brutal stabbings of young people or other things such as, holding a gun to a young person's head, things like that. Juveniles attacking other juveniles, and those juveniles that conduct those things would be released back into the community. And it makes it really hard for us to support the victims of these crimes, which is typically other kids, but sometimes other people in our community. And so working to testify on this is incredibly challenging sometimes, because often the people that are impacted by these crimes are not us. They are people in poverty. They are not coming to testify to talk. And so we are very active. A lot of mayors around the region are also very active, and we've had multiple calls with our representatives and certainly the sponsor of this. So we'll keep you posted.
My last one is a different topic, House Bill 2489. This would have an impact on cities' use of buffer zones and how we work with encampments and folks who are on our streets. We've been partnering with cities throughout Puget Sound. The city of Kent led this at the beginning, so they deserve some credit for it. That bill is advanced through committee and is moving along, but It would basically mean that we could no longer ask anyone who's on the street to move into shelter unless that shelter was sort of like the perfect ideal of shelter within the city limits. It just probably doesn't really exist anywhere. So that one is tough too. So yeah, that's my update. I will expect to hear more next week. There will be some of those will have fallen off. I mean, hopefully.
Any questions from council? Judy, do you have any? Okay. All right, thank you. How about our city attorney, David Hall?
No executive session, no report.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. Let's move to our consent items. We have 8 today. Do I have a motion?
Councilmember Bader moves the consent items.
Councilmember Ryan seconds.
Okay, motion and seconds been made. Okay, motion and seconds been made for consent items 1 through 8. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Bourbano,
Yes.
Councilmember Tui,
Yes.
Councilmember Weir,
Yes.
Councilmember Bader.
Yes.
Vice President Ryan.
Yes.
President Schwab.
Yes, okay, we'll move to our proposed action items. Item number 9, Council Bill 2601, it's been read in the record, second reading. Is there any questions or comments from council? Okay, moving on, our third and final reading will be February 11th. Item number 10, it's also been read in the record. Council Bill 2601-02, are there any questions or comments? Yeah, Councilmember Bader, yes.
Thanks, Council President. So maybe directing this somewhat to our city attorney here. I've seen people express concern about the fact we might prosecute the workers in these stands, but even knowing we have pretty compassionate municipal court judges, and maybe I've watched too many crime shows, but wondering, I think if an important aspect of this ability to prosecute the workers, though, might be that we need leverage to be able to go after the people who are running these operations, and if that's an important consideration, making sure we keep that as part of this legislation.
That's exactly right.
Thanks.
And just for clarification, we had an amendment some amended language.
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to make Senior Executive Director Templeman.
Okay.
He's here for a reason.
Okay.
Good evening, council members and Mayor Dan Templeman with administration. And there we go. Yeah, there was an amendment based on the feedback from council last week. I had the opportunity to meet with staff and discuss what you all discussed last week. And as a result of that, the discussion, the amendment that's being proposed would remove a few of the exceptions that were included in the original draft of the ordinance. And just in a nutshell, we would be removing the items that were originally listed as exceptions. Those are newspaper carriers, people who are specifically requested or called upon, others for purpose of displaying goods, literature, or giving out information, and then bona fide candidates and campaign workers, or generally those are the 3 categories that have been that we're proposing to remove as a result of the discussion last week.
Is there any questions from council? Okay, and for the record, we haven't technically made this amendment. We'll make that in our last, all council has received it, and we'll be looking to make that amendment next meeting. Okay. Okay, thank you. All right, so item number 11 has been also read in the record, Council Bill 2601. Are there any questions or comments from council? Okay, the third and final reading will be February 11th. Okay, moving on to action item number 13, adopt a resolution establishing a charter review committee and defining the responsibilities and procedures of the committee. Are there any questions or comments? Do I have a motion?
Councilmember Bader moves item number 13.
Councilmember Ryan seconds.
Okay, motion seconds been made. Are there any comments or questions from council? Councilmember Ryan.
Thanks. Jennifer, could you remind us when they meet, maybe just give like so it seems like they're starting to get the ball rolling, so it'd be great just for a reminder of when they're gonna meet, and then any updates for the public on when they can participate or provide comment or how.
Yeah, the Charter Review Committee will have their first meeting in about a little over a week on February 12th at 4:30 at the Executive Municipal Building, and we will have a Zoom link for it, and we will post the meeting on YouTube. I don't think we're going to stream during the meeting, but it'll be available after, and folks will be able to sign up to, click on the Zoom link and be in the audience, as it were. The committee at that time will decide their meeting schedule and frequency and how they want to operate going forward. The web page that has the committee information, which is just under the boards and commissions, A through L, it should be in there. Yeah, there she is, Charter Review Committee. It has, it will be the home for how folks can follow along, see the meeting minutes and agendas, and participate. Generally, members of the public that want to submit comments at this point can send them to me, and I will kind of shepherd them into the committee for their review. And I've already met with one of the prospective committee members who is still interested in sharing some feedback. And one of the committee members who was interested in just kind of touching base and learning more about the charter as they get ready for their first meeting next week.
I had a couple questions. Now, there'll be 2 public hearings. Is that my understanding?
Yes, that's from the resolution that was
Yep.
adopted last time. I kept that. I presume that they'll take public comment somewhat regularly through their meetings, but they'll officially have to have 2 public hearings that we'll notice. And yeah.
Okay, thank you. And then they don't necessarily have to select somebody off the interested party list. It could be anyone in the community. Is there requirements to that?
That's right. So the 14 folks that you all put together will choose a 15th member. I gave them the names of the other candidates that didn't make it, but they can choose anyone. If there is anyone that didn't apply the first time and is interested and wants to sort of throw their name in there, they could send that. They could email me to sort of get on that list so that I can make the committee aware of that. I presume maybe some committee members might come with an idea of someone they'd want to appoint. It'll be one of their first tasks on the 12th.
Thank you. So item number 13, any other questions or comments from council? Okay. Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Bourbano,
Yes.
Councilmember Tui,
Yes.
Councilmember Weir,
Yes.
Councilmember Bader.
Yes.
Vice President Ryan.
Yes.
President Schwab.
Yes, and with no further business, we are now adjourned.